So into the arena is the undefeated professional Paulinus Ndjolonimu. 37 years of age, got a perfect record, 19 fights, 19 wins, 17 of them inside the distance for an 89% KO ratio. Ange and I watched him going through his paces in a public workout at the Rocky Road gym, and he is a towering figure at the 80-kilogram weight, possesses a loose-limbed elasticity. His first fight outside of the southern African nation of Namibia tonight. But he was assuring me when I spoke with him yesterday that his punch has traveled with him here to Dubai. So Paulinus Ndjolonimu taking up residence in the black corner, just awaiting the introduction of his opponent.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent coming into the gold corner, representing the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's Patrick Mukala.
Well, that is some headwear befitting of the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, former Olympic bronze medalist and the former WBC heavyweight champ of the world. Also the alien, B-Hop, may have inspired that choice of headgear, making a secataire across his chest is Patrick Mukala, 30 years of age, born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, lives in Johannesburg in South Africa, and he too has fought exclusively on the mighty continent of Africa. And he was in effervescent mood at the pre-fight press conference, promising fireworks. He too, an explosive puncher, 19 fights, 16 wins, 14 of them early, 2 losses and a draw, and 88% KO ratio for the man who has campaigned as a super middleweight boxer, stepping up in weight tonight, conceding an awful lot of height and reach. But he's got faith in his speed, his skill set, and his fight-ending power. What a contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is IBA Champions Night Dubai, presented to you by IBA President Mr. Umar Kremlov. And this contest, 8 rounds of boxing for the IBA Professional African 80-kilogram title. Your officials: judges from Italy, Luca Varilonga; from Russia, Sergei Zhurkin; from Azerbaijan, Emil Gurbanalayev. Your referee in charge of the action from Moldova is Valery Pastuhov. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to fight for the title. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the black corner, weighing in at 77.15 kilograms, an outstanding unbeaten record consisting of 19 wins, no losses. 17 of those wins come by way of knockout. Presenting the former WBO African super middleweight champion from Namibia, the hard-hitting Paulinus Ndjolonimu. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the gold corner, weighed in at 75.75 kilograms. He also brings an excellent record to the ring. 16 wins against just 2 defeats. 14 of his 16 wins come by way of knockout. Presenting the former All-Africa Super Middleweight Champion from Umbuji Maji, Democratic Republic of Congo, Patrick Mukala.
Let's go, champ!
Let's go, baby! Yeah!
Let's go, champ!
Gentlemen, listen to me. Head up, no holding, no logo. Shake hand. Good luck.
So Mr. Valery Pastuhov with the final instructions. There's a look at the tail of the tape. Each man well inside the 80-kilogram limit that this IBA Continental African title bout is being contested at, but a considerable advantage in height enjoyed by the man from Namibia boxing out of the black corner. Will he be able to turn that attribute of greater height and length and reach into an asset against the fast-fisted, fleet-footed Patrick Mukala? of DR Congo, based in South Africa. We're underway.
Round one.
This is 8 3-minute rounds. The IBA African Pro title on the line, and reminiscent of the former British cruiserweight champion out of Nigeria, Mr. Mukala. A glutes to grass squat performed by the man wearing the white trunks trimmed with gold. That is Patrick Mukala, 30 years of age. He's the man who just scored with the first scoring punch. Dances around his man by getting inside, and another sharp shooting jab. Even though he's got the shorter reach, remember, the jab is often about timing. And it's the man in the white trunks trimmed with gold who has demonstrated the greater timing, Patrick Mukala, to land with 2 scoring jabs against the comparatively towering figure of Paulinus Ndjolonimu, the man wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold out of Namibia. Good thrusting jab to the body, and then a jab upstairs, followed by a left uppercut, left hook downstairs, landed by Mukala. Looking for the range with his long lead left was Ndjolonimu, but he's inaccurate with it. Trying to step forwards over that front foot once again. Stab jab to the body once more, twice in quick succession from Mukala. And it's Mukala who in the first minute of this opening round who has enjoyed the greater scoring successes. Looking for the left-right combination there was Mukala. The glove defenses of Ndjolonimu. Effective left uppercut, right hook landed by Mukala, finding gaps in the attempted defenses that Ndjolonimu is seeking to erect. And now Ndjolonimu, perhaps aware of that, getting onto the front foot, going in search of his man. But again, will he be served to just shoot out that jab as he does now? And that right hand came down on a steep trajectory and landed on the body of Mukala. But Mukala reestablishes the jab once again, scores with a good stab jab to the body, and then a right hand over the top. And even though he's the taller, longer fighter, there's a left jab and right hook slung downstairs from Ndjolonimu. By getting over the front foot so incessantly, he's almost giving up the reach that reach advantage he enjoys, and he's walking right into the punching territory of his more compact opponent, Patrick Mukala. Just inside, or just under a minute remaining, as Mukala scores with a jab once again, and there's the same lead left hand in evidence once more from Mukala. Boxing a clever contest here, tucking up tightly on the inside, but couldn't quite avoid the right hook that was slung in. As Mukala, again, 4 punches to the body, and a torso that long and lean will represent a veritable feast for Mukala, and he's targeted it effectively and extensively in this round so far. Right uppercut turned underneath from Ndjolonimu, but again continuing to pepper the body with scoring straight punches is Mukala. 10-second clapper sounds, closing stages of this opening round between 2 bona fide KO artists. But it has been clever boxing, jab and left hook to end the round from Patrick Mukala, who found his range immediately.
He really did. He's boxed into a good plan here. Obviously, there's a big height difference between the two, but he's exacerbating that by getting really nice and low. He's dipping those knees, and then he's either shooting that jab up to the head, and because it's coming from so much further below the eye line of Ndjolonimu than he's used to, he's picking it up late. It's hard to read it. Or he can just throw a jab straight off at shoulder height, and because he's that low, that ends up going straight into the stomach. So not an easy job this one for Ndjolonimu. He's got to do a bit more though. When he does get his man at range, he's got to couple those hands though. He may well expect a fight like this to be down at halfway and just trust that that power will come to bear in the second half. But you've got to take something out of your opponent in the first half of the fight. He's finding it tough at the minute though.
Round 2.
So we move into the second round then. The IBA African Continental title on the line at 80 kilograms. Bit of a tardy exit from the gold corner, so referee Mr. Valery Pastorhov sending both boxers to neutral corners. Thrusting jab score to the body once again from Patrick Mukala. Now confident enough to drop his hands around his pecs and feint with the feet and lean his head in, leaving it tantalizingly on the line as bait for Ndjolonimu to try and draw him out of his shell. He's continuing to seek to tuck up behind his gloves and forearms. Comes on a forward foray, but didn't really find a range with any effectiveness. And there's a sharp shooting 1-2, landed to good effect, followed by a stab jab to the body once again, before Mukala's able to dip out of the corner and spin away to the sanctuary of center ring. But he's gone to the neutral corner on the far side of the ring now. Exerting a lot of energy is Mukala. Even though he's efficient with his movements, he's stepping in, scoring with plenty of punches at a pretty high punch output. Remember, this one being contested at 80 kilograms. A little bit of embellishment as he picks up that lead left leg and then scores with a 3-shot salvo, which is countered by a right hand from Ndjolonimu. But you get the sense that Mukala feels as though he has the measure of his man here now, and just putting a little bit of flash and embellishment on his work. Showboating for the fans, but just trying to get inside the mind of Ndjolonimu, as if to let him know, look, this is how comfortable I am in your presence. I'm going to do what I want to do, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's a little skip to his loo as he moves away from the advancing taller fighter once again. But cutting a composed figure is Mukala. Ndjolonimu continuing to try to walk him down, tries a corkscrew left hand, which wasn't too far away. A little bit of back foot boxing being demonstrated by Mukala now, confident enough to keep his hands down by his belt line and just weave away from the punches as the fire was incoming from both flanks. Treble jab, body and head, snapped out by Mukala, who again, is embellishing his offense with his hands by trying to distract Ndjolonimu with his feet. Picking those feet up, and this is reminiscent of what Andy Clark and I witnessed during his public workout. Very expressive, effusive character, and so often the personality of a fighter outside the ring is so instructive and informative as to how they will compete inside the boxing ring. And Mukala, look at those jabs just being peppered into the face as he snaps it out like a riding crop into the head of Ndjolonimu. Reverse 1-2, right hand then left, then dips underneath. Ndjolonimu claims his man around the waist, but in many respects, Ndjolonimu cutting a figure of a man who is stuck on train tracks here, which is very difficult when you're faced with as an adept a mover as Mukala. There's a good right hand to the body slung in from Ndjolonimu, perhaps his best shot of the round, but he's made to pay for it in the form of a 2-shot salvo from Mukala, who really warmed to his task in that second 3-minute frame.
He really did, and you can see that he's got the template here in place for how he can win this fight, but there are just signs in there for me that there's a possibility he could get a little bit greedy, and he just doesn't need to. He can win this fight with a jab, can't he? Just shoot that jab up to the head, work it down to the body, put a right hand on the end of it, and then just turn around that front foot, step off and disappear behind Ndjolonimu, and just keep doing it and doing it, doing it. But we saw a little bit of showboating, at times he's looking to set his feet. He doesn't want to stand in front of Ndjolonimu, because that's what Ndjolonimu is desperate for him to do, to be honest, isn't he? Ndjolonimu, for his part, he's finally punching down hard work. He's moving and punching down, and he's missing. He needs to be maybe just a little bit more patient and just hit something, dip his knees, just hit something, shoulders, forearms, whatever it is. But if he's going to go looking for the head, he's going to find it tough. He's going to slow him down, isn't he?
He's got to try and do something to solve the puzzle that is Patrick Mukala, because it's proving to be a riddle that he's having difficulty answering right now. Here you see him on the back foot, presenting a different posture to Mukala, perhaps trying to tempt him forwards and walk him onto a backhand, but he's really giving the impression that he's found his range and timing here now. And Patrick Mukala, oh, terrific check left hook as he spun off the line, then blasting a 2-shot salvo to the body of straight punches. Right hand over the top is a flashing scoring shot in the form of a cross from Mukala, and Ndjolonimu, having started the round on the back foot, trying to lure his man in and walk him onto a backhand, is getting on the front foot once again. But Mukala spinning in front of him, spinning off the line, shape-shifting like a character from the Matrix at times, and Ndjolonimu is finding this a very difficult mission indeed, as Mukala on his man once again, looking for bent-arm successes in the form of hooks and uppercuts. So Mukala willingly retreating, backpedaling to the neutral corner just above our commentary position, each man going in search of uppercuts. Mukala working the body effectively once again, and then cleverly attempting to tie up the taller Ndjolonimu. Ndjolonimu seeking to untangle those tentacle-like arms and get back to his own punching territory. But look at the dynamism being demonstrated by Mukala. as he's continuing to pepper his man with punches. Ndjolonimu trying to set his feet and push off that back foot in search of that piston-like lead left hand, but he's hitting the stadium night air for the most part, and he's having real difficulty landing with any solidity. And with the head of Mukala proving to be such an elusive target, would Ndjolonimu be advised to just try and land on the shoulder, land anywhere he can get leather on flesh and bone? There he's not too far away with a double jab. Really spectacular overhand right hand lead fired in from a wide-legged stance by Mukala. Didn't quite catch Ndjolonimu. And here, if Ndjolonimu is finding the head too evasive a target, maybe you just got to try and rough him up on the inside. But he's got to try and unfurl those straight punches, because again it's another disruptive scoring jab scored by Mukala. He's wide-eyed and concentrated as he scores with the left jab, then back steps, back pedals to make his man miss. Flashy feet once again from Mukala, trying to distract Ndjolonimu. Ndjolonimu remaining committed to his task, but how many jabs was he hit with there? As Mukala spinning around the pocket, perhaps a sense of desperation in that right hand, which was fired on a downward trajectory. But again, Ndjolonimu unable to find the range. This is going to be a real test of his temperament, one senses here, because as mentioned, with 17 KO wins in his 19 victories, Ndjolonimu is used to hitting his opponents and seeing them fall. Burst of flashy punches from Mukala, where the third one did get through, but it's proving to be a very difficult mission indeed thus far for Ndjolonimu, as Mukala is continuing to pile up the points.
He absolutely is. That was another round in the bank there for Patrick Mukala, and he's continuing to do what he needs to do. But he is having to work hard in there, looking at him sat on his stool across the ring. He's putting plenty into this. It's a demanding way to fight, and Ndjolonimu has just got to start landing. As you said, just hit the shoulders, hit the forearms, hit something. Test the patience of the referee. Get a hold of him, manhandle him a bit, see if you can throw him around a touch, bang him to the hip, do whatever you can do just to try and slow him down and make him know that he's really in a fight here, because, as I say, Mukala, he's 3 rounds up and he's boxed very, very well so far. But he has had to work hard. Ndjolonimu's got 5 more rounds here, but he's got to start making a bit of a dent in Mukala. He's got to start taking some gas out of his tank, or he's going to leave himself with too much to do.
So we move into the 4th round of a contest that is scheduled for 8, the vacant IBA African professional title on the line at 80 kilograms. Both of these men used to competing at a lower poundage. I'm not mixing up metric and imperial. 80 kilograms, 176 pounds. Both of these men have competed predominantly down at super middle. Leaping left hook attempted by Mukala, but it was blocked by the effective right hand defenses of Ndjolonimu, who answered the telephone, got his glove up to his temple to ward off that incoming fire. But with both of them having competed at lower weight classes, each of them well inside the 80 kilogram limit, Ndjolonimu at 77.15 kilograms and Mukala at 75.75. So that is a considerable weight advantage for Ndjolonimu, who again looking to manhandle his man, and he did have some success there, causing Mukala to jump backwards into the corner post in the black corner. Again, big swing and a miss with the right hand, but the left hook to the body was altogether closer from Ndjolonimu. Now Mukala re-establishing the control of distance by scoring with that left jab to the body. Ndjolonimu, hand down around his kneecap here now, as Mukala scores with another jab to the body, then turned his palm up to the ring lights to turn it into a half hook, half uppercut, scoring with that bent arm shot on the inside. Effective use of the lead left hand once again, and this has been an object lesson as to how the jab is about timing and not just length and reach, because you can see the disparity in height and length and reach between these two boxers, but Mukala's jab has perhaps been the most important punch right on cue. 3 jabs snapped out, each of them finding a home on the target, as Ndjolonimu desperately trying to get his offense together. There's another 1-2. Would he be advised to put forth more than a single phase of attack, because Mukala is finding the left jab right cross a pretty easy combination to deal with, as he jabs and spins off the line to his left, serves himself another left-right combination, as again another right hand lead snaps into the face of Ndjolonimu, should Ndjolonimu turn this into a two-phase attack, a three-phase attack, concede that his first one might be inaccurate, but just keep the pressure going, seek to weight his man down and blast away to whatever he can land upon. Hit the man in the hips, hit him on the back of the head, force the referee into a decision, make it a street fight, because in a straight boxing match, for my money, deep into the 4th round, Patrick Mukala is proving to be the governor as we approach the bell of round number 4. There's the 10-second clapper. So having been outboxed, can Ndjolonimu turn this one into a fight? But he's got to do something to get a foothold in this contest, because at the end of 4 rounds down, for my money, 4 rounds, he's 4 rounds down.
He is 4 rounds down. That was another good round there from Mukala. And I like that one from him more than the previous rounds, if anything, because I think he's realised he can't be wasting any energy here. So he was nice and economical there. There was no showboating. He did stand in front of him. And that jab is so effective because it shoots up almost vertically. It bursts up into the eye line. It's difficult to pick up. It gets right under the shoulder when he throws it. And Ndjolonimu can't come over the top of it, can he? We've seen him try that. And he almost ends up punching himself in the hip when he throws it, because he's got to come almost straight down with it. So it's a tough job for Ndjolonimu. But he has got to do whatever he can, rush him, anything, just to try and make an impact on him. Because at the minute, these rounds are slipping by, he's losing the rounds, and he's barely laying a glove on Mukala. But you have to give Mukala the credit for that. He's been very good.
So into the second half of this contest we go. The IBA African Continental title on the line at 80 kilograms, and the bustling figure on top of the logo at center ring. There's a good jab landed by Ndjolonimu, the man wearing the black trimmed with gold, and perhaps he's taking a little bit of pop off that jab and trying to quicken it up, because he did have success with it, but he's been rocked down to his boots by a left hook followed by a thunderous right cross over the top, and now Mukala all over his man, seeking to get him out of there, having started the oh my goodness! A right hand has deposited Paulinus Ndjolonimu on the canvas. The referee told him to count, but I think he could count to 20, and indeed he has curtailed this one. A sensational inside the distance victory, scored with a 5th round KO by Patrick Mukala, has seen him claim the IBA African professional title at 80 kilograms in the most emphatic and devastating fashion. Well, now we have to turn our attention and our thoughts to Paulinus Ndjolonimu and hope that he is okay. But Andy, what a spectacular finish, as Mukala sensed that he had his man going, and that right hand as sweet as could possibly be.
It was absolutely perfect, and the doctor has just got the gum shield out there of Ndjolonimu. They're getting the gloves off. He's lying flat on his back, but they're administering the smelling salt, so every precaution being taken there. But that siding overhand right, he'd hurt him before that and just got him on the run. He started the round in blistering fashion, and then that punch was just delivered perfectly, and you saw it just clip the chin, and you saw the rotation of the skull essentially, and that's the traumatic force that causes someone to get knocked out, basically. Those connections, those signals from the brain get disturbed, and that was perfectly delivered. And it was a brilliant performance actually from Patrick Mukala, because right from the start he had the plan. He knew how he was going to negate the height and reach of Ndjolonimu and the power, because there is power. He's got 17 knockouts in 19 wins. He used the jab really, really well. I did wonder whether he might get a bit greedy at one point, but then he didn't. He kind of stuck to the plan. And then at the start of that round, when he had that bit of success and he could see that his man was hurt, he just completely committed. I'm not sure you can do much better than that. You've got a plan, you stick to it, you carry that to the letter, and he could have done that for 8 rounds, and he would have done that for 8 rounds, but he got the opportunity. And it's
well, conclusion to the previous 4 rounds. Again, he's showcasing the fancy footwork that he exhibited at times during his 4 rounds of dominance against Paulinus Ndjolonimu. And then after setting his man up for 4 rounds, taking all 4 rounds for my money, came out aggressively at the start of the 5th, teeing off with effective hooks. And when he had his man on the run and reeling. The overhand right that he produced showcased his fight-ending power. We suggested that this contest could well end early, given the punching prowess of both of these men, and that is indeed what has transpired. Wonderful to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both boxers. Ladies and gentlemen, before we present the IBA Professional African title, let me please introduce our guest presenter. He's a popular heavyweight right from the UK. It's Derek War Chisora. This fight comes to an end in round number 5. Official time, 30 seconds of round number 5. Therefore, your winner by knockout and the new African IBA champion in the gold corner, representing the Democratic Republic of Congo, Patrick Mukala.
So Patrick Mukala, understandably elated at having been presented with that IBA African Professional title belt by Derek War Chisora. A fantastic performance, capped with a crunching overhand right cross finish from Patrick Mukala, and prior to that, well, he had claimed all 4 of the completed rounds. Derek War Chisora just making his way between the ropes after his presentation duties, and to the victor the spoils, because Patrick Mukala standing alongside the man he has just bested tonight, concluding a beautiful boxing display of sticking and moving and variety and ring intelligence, with a ferocious finish at the 30-second mark of round number 5. Patrick Mukala's first venture outside of the continent of Africa, a successful one, because he will be returning to Johannesburg, where he resides, with that IBA African Professional title in his possession, and the manner in which he performed suggests that we are going to see him again on the IBA Champions Night stage. A terrific display.
It really was, and that's what you describe as a breakout performance, because there are big platforms to box on in Africa, but this is a different kind of level, a different kind of stage, and for the pair of them, that's what this experience was, because he'd not boxed outside of Africa, we hadn't boxed outside of Namibia, and to turn that kind of performance on in front of the people who are watching here, and I've just noticed Badu Jack and Carl Froch taking their seats at ringside. Manny Pacquiao will be here a little bit later on, and that was a finish that any of the fighters we've got here in attendance, Derek Chisora represented the belt, they'd all have been proud of that one. It was just a terrific performance. Ndjolonimu have a tough few days ahead of him, because he was an undefeated fighter, and when that happens to you, some fighters struggle to believe that that kind of thing can happen to them. If you're a puncher, then most likely you'd have the acceptance that it's a possibility.